maybe secure that game, lock that game out?
I think we went through it a little bit at the there in the previous game. I just want to see more Mikey plays. What did he play last time when he didn't play the Batrider? So they'll go for the Invoker. Was that the thing he played against Spirit as well? Yeah, he did. So yeah, he's gonna be going with what he knows. Decent potential lanes on the side of Entity. So it is hard to call, but I'm gonna go for Entity because I think the Beastmaster in both games, the added vision was what made the difference. So I guess that's gonna be the thing that's gonna be making me lean more towards their side.
Okay, and guys, don't forget there is the banner below the stream. If you want to get involved in the action, you get yourself a free $15 bet if you are one of the new customers. Toby, though, top lane being hunted down already. Is he just going to be able to get himself in there? Again, this is pre-horn, so there is no TPs. GH going to come in with a Scatter Blast now as well. Kuroki, does he want to try and chase him down? Does he want to maybe try and go for that? He's not skilled anything. Up you say it doesn't look like in Kuroki. He's just going to go for the right click. Now it does. The lead sheet comes through, and Toby in the trees trying to throw out the axe. He's trying to clear space, but there's still going to be a space for Kuroki to run through now as well. And even Amar. Toby, the disarm comes out as well. And Toby, is he going to be able to get himself away from this one? I'm thinking not. One more right click from anyone, but he is wasting a lot of time here.
They didn't want to let him deny to the tower there. He really tried to do so much, but wasting that time in the end. You give first blood to GH, 3 runes to Entity. I'd say that's okay for both sides. One GH is gonna have a little bit of a better lane, maybe allow him to dodge the Undying a little bit better. On the other side, you get 3 runes, so it's region going your way. It's not gonna change the game at all too much.
And we see probably the most common Undying build I see at the minute is just walking to lane with 6 mangoes. And then having another 3 flown out as well when you get the gold on the courier. And yeah, so he's going to be able to just spam out those decay stacks, make it as hard as possible for the side of NGX, even just sustaining that lane.
Okay, I think now when I saw Samael missing some of those creeps, that he definitely is playing with some pink. Because that is very uncharacteristic for him as a player. These star players, if there's something that they're always good at, is getting the free CS, and missing out on 2 of those, if I saw correctly, it's definitely showing that something is wrong.
Yeah, meanwhile, back in this lane, Mind Control, you can see the damage coming out from Fishman. He's just happy to sit with his decay stacks. And again, 2 strength heroes as well. So, going to get the double benefit of taking away the health, but taking away the damage against him. And Fishman, again, he's just going to stick with the right clicks. Mid lane, how's Mikey doing here? 5 and 5, so yeah, about even. And it is going to be the Quas Wex build as well, coming out for Mikey. So, he's going to be able to, again, sustain with the Quas orbs as they come out. So, taking away the mana, how impactful is this going to be? Getting those EMPs, getting those tornadoes off, and taking away maybe the last, trying to control the range creeps maybe here against Samael.
Very important. The strength of the Tiny comes from the fact that you can't trade it with him when he takes the tree, because he can have a toss you to death after it. But when he doesn't have the mana necessary to go for the combo, then it changes the matchup quite a lot, because you know that he can't kill you, and then you're okay taking the hits from the tree and preventing the Tiny from farming with it.
Yeah, and we see again Mikey just trying to do his best to get disruptive. Going to be falling a couple of last hits behind, but Samael at least has the ball top lane though, and Mark's going to be taking a lot of damage. In fact, he's going to be taken down, and Toby gets that kill. Kuroki trying to move himself back towards the tier 1 tower. But yeah, really nice setup it looks like there from the side of Entity, just to get the damage over and take down Amar. So he is going to be coming back to lane full health, full mana, which is going to be, I guess, a benefit of going down there. But you never really want to be going down in this lane, especially against this Rubik. You give him that XP to get him closer and closer to getting that level 6, stealing the spells. And there's a lot that he can take away here on the side of NGX.
I don't know why Amar was so deep. You're saying that he really wants to apply pressure to Toby, but he got pulled closer to the tower, he got hit a couple of times, and then suddenly you're just dead. You definitely shouldn't allow that to happen. You picked up the Huskar, this lane. This hero usually dominates the lane, but he is actually not doing well there, and especially because he has a treant. It should have gone really good for Nigma Galaxy on the top lane.
Yeah, and you can see Fishman again. He's getting between Doom and the TA, and just every time he's throwing out these decay stacks, he's just forcing the double stacks coming out here as well. That's going to be so hard in this offlane here if you're on the side of NGX.
That's something that you should never allow to happen. This is a surefire way to lose a lane against the Undying, that you allow the double DKs to happen, especially with two strength heroes, as you mentioned, because they're just not going to have the strength necessary even to last hit.
Yeah. Yeah, you see at least MC here. He's going to be able to try and get this pull underneath the tier 1 tower here, but Fishman, he's trying to disrupt this as much as possible. He looks like he's going to be able to get a couple of the denies here there as well, just to make it a little bit harder onto mind control. Yeah, you can see, I think the Snapfire was moving away to get a stack there as well. So GH, Watson, does he want to try and dive? No, but the right-click damage coming through onto GH took half of the remaining health he had left, so he has to be really careful about being taken away. The decays as well. He's trying to use that stick as much as possible here, GA, but MC, again, he's just having all this life taken away, and again, it doesn't regen now when the decay stacks wear off. And Fishman, he's like at an all-you-can-eat buffet for zombies at the minute.
Yeah, it's looking really good for him, though. Watson got a little bit too ahead in my taste. Usually, like as I mentioned, level 2, level 3 is when the Undying loses his mana, and then you can start turning the lane around. But because Nigma Galaxy gave away so many decays and he didn't really need to spam all that much, now this TA is so far ahead that no matter what happens in this lane, it is already lost. Watson has way too much.
Yeah, and again, GH being forced back to Doom. He's had to move back to base because he's out of life, he's out of regen. So he has to heal up the old-fashioned way, maybe TP himself right back into this. And top lane, how are they looking up here? Again, it looks like they got some more harass onto Amara. Amara is going to be regenning up, so he's going to be fine for now. Does he want to try and make the dive onto... Well, he's only level 4, so he doesn't actually have the full dive just yet. But just getting some harass off onto Katawomi here. Toby, Leech Seed is going to be used, but Toby's just going to be juking around these trees now, looking to disrupt this pull, maybe throw the axes out and get the creeps to just push right back into this lane.
When the Huskar has 2 points in the Burning Spears, that is where you don't want to fight him any longer. It's way too much damage, it's going to be going your way, so you just try to go with the shenanigans in the lane, and we're seeing Entity that are like pulling creeps and stuff like that, even bringing the Invoker.
Did the telekinesis pull him out of the Tornado's path? I think he did, but
yep.
I mean, Mikey's still going to be able to pick up the kill, so not the biggest of deals. And again, you know, they have been stacking up. It's been a long series, so maybe fatigue. I mean, I'm surprised that NGX pro players, I know they took a break, but it's going to be harder for them because they had a series, took a break, and then they've come back and they're playing a full best of 3.
They are, but they now decided to send the Tiny on the bottom lane and the Doom to the mid lane. So they're like, okay, we want to ruin the Tiny's lane now and his potential to fight. And this is really bad because Samael needs to be a very strong hero in this game, but he wasn't doing that well in the mid lane either way. But just to remind the viewers to click on the banner below if they have an idea who's going to be winning this one, you get the $15 free on your first bet. But at least Nigma Galaxy are going to try to make something happen on the bottom.
Yeah, and Kuroki, again, he's just trying to keep the towers up, trying to keep everybody healthy. Katawomi's trying to get the pull through, but Kuroki's will be able to get the Seraph off. And Katawomi with the drag back, Mikey's got him for another rotation up now as well. It was a trap, and Kuroki going to be caught out. The cold snap coming through as well as the earn damage, and Kuroki, he's going to go down. Katawomi picks up the kill that time.
They're not even gunning for Amar right now. They want the Spirit Vessel first. Okay, I scratched that. They really want him dead, or they want some TPs.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to be baiting out at least one TP from Samael. In fact, Amar might go down. He's going to try and use the Inner Fire. He's still going to be taking a lot of damage to Cold Snap. It's going to be enough, and Mikey gets himself another kill here now as well. They might even turn around to Samael, because Samael's got no mana left. Mikey, he might just be waiting for that regen. He's got to earn if he wants to pop it on himself. But it looks like, yeah, with everyone else being out of mana, they don't want to overcommit. And Samael now, he's just playing musical lanes. You know, mid, bot, top. Now he's just being, like you say, that sacrificial lamb in this game. And it's the push-pull coming through from Entity. This is exactly what they want to be doing to NGX.
He can't find his place in the world. It's so sad.
Yeah, well, he'll get along like a rolling stone. And Tornado will not be connecting there. Yeah, he just needs to, like I said, get along like a rolling stone and find his place eventually. But Invoker, that Spirit Vessel, I mean, 8 minutes towards the Spirit Vessel. That's going to be a really nice pickup, especially if they carry on picking up the kills like this.
Yeah, you're playing against 3 strength cores as well. Actually, you're playing against 5 strength heroes, so the Spirit Vessel really does come in handy here. Not only because of the Huskar, but every single hero on the side of Nigma Galaxy does struggle against the item.
Yeah, a little bit of a pause coming through, but we won't be paused for too long. Amara is saying go, so just a little bit of adjustment being made. And looking through now, so NGX, yeah, we talked about Smail's game. What is this? Is this just trying to sacrifice to try and secure lanes elsewhere, or do they need to just try and find somewhere to slot the Tiny in now?
They are trying to make sure that the Doom has some kind of a game, and the Tiny's like, I got some levels, so I can change the pace of the game currently, but just hasn't been able to do it so far.
Okay, the Avalanche going to be coming through now as well. Sumail, the cookie's going to be there. It does actually land onto Toby. Toby's going to be stunned up for a little bit. Can they get the damage onto Mikey? Mikey, though, he's going to be into the... He's got the Ghost Walk if he needs it, so he can just back himself away. And again, the 3 points... the 3 orbs up on the course as well. So he does have that regen.
This is... Nigma Galaxy are just trying to get something out of the game currently. They need some kills to slow down the timing of Entity, because with this kind of a start, that 20-minute timing that I was talking about at the start, Entity are gonna hit it so hard that this TA is gonna be ripping through people. Again, strength heroes, not high in armor. You get ripped apart by the Deso TA, and you don't want to allow that to happen. And with this kind of a start and the game going so nicely for them, I think it's not gonna have any issues hitting that timing.
The Centaur Storm comes out. Kuroki's going to go down again. He's going to be felled by the axes of Toby. And you can see Toby, I mean, he's already, again, 10 minutes in. He's got the Centaur out. He's got the Helmet Dominator working towards the Helmet of the Overlord. And you would think, usually, a Huskar is a kind of win lane, can't say the win-lose game, but usually, the Huskar is that lane bully coming out. What's just gone wrong in this lane for NGX?
I think when he shouldn't have been, he went aggressively. He played on level 2 the way he should be playing on level 4. And he even stepped out so far that he got lifted and brought into the tower. So it was even a bigger misstep than, the approach to the being overly aggressive with the Huskar. You can still do it, get some hits in, that's fine. You might not need to do it until you get the Burning Spears, but you can do it. But the biggest problem was he stepped to the tower. He died. And then pull can be made. You come back into the lane. The wave is still on the enemy side. When you hit your timing, the Invoker rotates twice, killing the Treant, not allowing you to farm, and they even kill you once dive the tower. Whereas I thought at that point they weren't going to be doing it. But I think a lot of factors they're kind of crushed the ability for him to pop off. But rotations from the Invoker, they were the nail in the coffin for sure.
Yeah. And again, guys, hopefully the pause won't be too long. Hopefully we'll get straight back into it. And looking through now, I mean, Watson's just having a great time. Top of the net worth. He's not really being contested either, because the Undying did such a great job in that early game of just shutting down the Snapfire, the Doom. Couldn't get anywhere near Watson. So Watson, again, 4.5k net worth, where you look at Amar, 3.2k net worth. Even the mid lane, I know it's only a 600 gold difference between the Invoker and the Tiny, but we've seen these leads grow. Especially when the Tiny's trying to rotate and support his lanes as much as possible in this first 10 minutes here. And the Invoker's the one that's rotating, finding the ganks, and then being able to go back to the mid lane to push out. It's going to get a lot harder for NGX. They just need to settle themselves down, I guess. Is it going to be... Because how does the Huskar even recover? Because he's not a stack farming hero. Is it just going to be the case of once they get a good couple of ultimates up, roaming around and looking to try and pick off supports, get back into the net worth, and take away the gold lead that Entity has by trying to get hero kills?
No. Huskar needs to farm.
Yeah.
The Huskar needs to be ahead. The thing is, with this hero, if you're coming into the fight where you're behind, you're going to die. And you're not going to be getting anything out of it. So he has to farm right now. Once you get the armlet, the Huskar can farm even the stacks, right? You're going to be seeing Huskar players, they get super low. This hero is very fast at farming. People tend to forget that. But the thing is that you also need to be ahead when you go into the jungle, and then you just elevate that farm that you got from the laning phase. So you might not be able to hit the timing that you want to get the Rosh and stuff like that, and that is the main problem here. He is going to be farming the triangle just fine.
Okay, mid lane. MT's going to be losing all of his mana here, as Mikey just says, you know what, this is my lane. If you're going to come into it, you need to pay the toll, and the toll is all of your mana.
That's not a lane I would want to be in, because Doom definitely doesn't like giving his mana away.
throw comes out. They're going to be able to get another kill, and this time they take down GH. GH just getting caught out, wrong place, wrong time, and Toby even just fine committing the roll there as well to be able to get the kill. And yeah, early on, fair enough, you get it off. You're going to be able to get a lot of pressure here now onto this tier 1 tower. It is being protected by, I guess, Kuro. I say protected. He's sitting back in the trees just watching it go down. And is there anything that NGX, did he just give up this tower? Is that it? Is it just gone?
It looks like it's gone right now. They were bringing in a lot of heroes there to defend it, but now it looks like they've finally given up on it. If they bring multiple heroes, the Tombstone will crush them here, because we just saw how fast the Snapfire can die.
Yeah, and yeah, Toby's even going to be using the hill troll army with the skeletons just to push into that. And it's going to be, with the catapult as well, fortification is going to be used, it looks like, just to make sure it definitely goes down there. I can't see what else they would have fortified for, but MC going to be chased down. Fisherman even pops that flash golem. Decay stack, Sunstrike, not even needed. Karawomi with the last hit, taking down Doom. 7-1 and a 4k net worth lead here in inside 11 minutes. This is just looking rough here for NGX.
Game 1, Entity don't get to play the game. Game 2, Nigma Galaxy, they start off the game well, but they don't utilize it. And now Game 3, I mean, it's usually how it goes. They're not going to be the ones that are allowed to be playing this game. This is kind of reminding me of game number 1. Just it's Entity that are crushing it, and not Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, and you can see now they just immediately move down there. The living armor comes out. Fortification going to be used here now as well. Even Watson's moving in. He doesn't need any more farm. 6k net worth lead here coming out for the TA. And they just move themselves in. They're going to be able to get themselves another tier 1 tower in the mid lane. And taking complete map control here as well. Now, looking through it, we do have Watson in the game. He's going towards that Desolator. Is that then the timing to move into the quick Roshan pit, you know, maybe taking down that tier 1 tower in the mid lane there as well, so there's nothing for it's going to be harder for NGX to get in with the TPs. Do you just want to go for the quick Rosh?
It's a highly contested Roche game in the sense that both the TA and the Huskar want it, so that's why he put so much emphasis on getting that mid lane tower down. If it goes down, Nigma Galaxy, their ability to push non-existent, it's always going to give you the advantage around the pit.
Okay, well, we'll see which way they want to roam. In fact, Mikey's Tornado is going to connect. It only connects onto the Snapfire, but the Meatball's going to be dropped now as well. Meatball's going to outmatch the Cookie, and Mikey claims the kill onto the Snapfire there. Granny maybe getting a little heartburn there with that Meatball.
You can't go for dessert until you're finished with the main course. It does make sense, you know.
Oh, the inner fire gets stolen, and Karawomi just immediately pops it. Telekinesis coming out right back into the path of Mikey. So there's going to be the Sam onto the Invoker. It doesn't matter. Toby comes in. The axes fly through, and he cut down Amar. And it's just looking, again, Entity are just saying, we know what you want to farm. We're going to take all of that space. So you have to get creative now where you're going to try and pick up this gold, because otherwise we're going to take it all away from you.
No more creativity, please. With those moves early on, musical lanes, that's about all the creativity that I wanted to see, because that was some pretty weird things coming out from Nigma Galaxy, and it ended up being like really bad for them.
Yeah, and again, Watson, he's about 600 gold from the second Mithril Hammer from completing out that Desolator. He's already got all the cuts out. MC goes down again, and Toby just finds him at 10 kills and within 13 minutes here. This is, it's not like it's long cooldowns on the ultimates as well. They might be able to get a return kill though. Karawomi, the toss comes up with the Mortimer Kisses. Karawomi is going to go down. Watson trying to run himself away from this. Do they have enough damage to take him down? Yeah, Watson, if he goes down, he's going to give up so much gold here, and it's going to delay. It's going to be the TP out. Did he get enough damage? No. They absolutely delete Watson. He tried to get the TP away, and that is going to slow down his Desolator by a fair bit.
Yeah, he would have had it right now if he didn't die. So Entity getting a little bit ahead of themselves. It was Entity making all of these moves, so it's not like Nigma Galaxy forced something in the bottom lane and then opened up for their fight on top. It was Entity that went for the fight on the bottom lane. So I think Watson just underestimated the amount of damage that the enemies can do.
Yeah, and Mikey, he's still hunting. Even with Watson being down, you know, it being in a 4v5 position, Mikey's not afraid to be getting up onto the other side of the river. He's got Fisherman backing him up as well. And yeah, with the control that the Invoker's going to be thrown out, Toby still getting the free lane. Even though the Doom is in the lane, you know, he's still just being able to apply the pressure with the boars. Again, the Hill Troll army coming through with the skeletons as well. And guys, don't forget, if you click the banner below the stream, you do get yourselves a free $15 bet if you are a new customer to just get that one. Yeah, just click the banner below the stream. Easy. As Mikey Again, moving himself through. Spirit Vessel is completed now as well. Does he? He is. He's going to go back for Hand of Midas. It's on the courier coming out now as well. So that's just going to accelerate the Invoker. And you look at the cores on the side of Entity, all three of them, top of the net worth as well. So this is going to be pushing Mikey way up that table.
Yeah, the Midas is going to allow for that. He knows that the majority of the creeps is going to be taken by Watson, so you want to have that one, because he's the one that's going to be running around the map. He's done with putting points in Wex, so now he wants Exhort, and that's pretty early on, because he feels like he can, and the enemies are just going to be dying to it. They are going to be lacking a little bit of damage if they don't have Watson, but, you know, they're going to have him from now on once he finishes off the Roshan. His Deso is getting delivered. This Rosh is not going to survive for long.
No, yeah, he's got the meld as well, so 3 points into that meld. And I don't know if NGX know this is going on here. There is going to be a cliff ward just to the north of the Roshan pit, and yeah, like I say, the Desolation is going to be coming through. They need to be there. It's only going to be Samel as well as the Snapfire here that's smoked up, so they need to be way quicker onto this. And you can already see Fishman moving around. He's looking to provide that body blocks. Roshan, it is going to be going down. In fact, Amar might be the next one to go down as well. Fishman will be taken away. But can they get anything else out of this? The Roar was used as well. What was stolen? Could it be the Cookie? They might be able to get the chase down. Samil going to be locked down with a Tornado. The Cookie comes in from Katawami. Most Makisses are going to be used. But there's not going to be a steal coming through from the Overgrowth now as well. He might be able to get the kill onto Toby. Disarm comes out. So they get another kill. Yeah, Toby will go down. The meatball's going to be dropped as well. Does he get himself away from this? Walter might want to try and disengage here with Alacrity being dropped on top of him. The Doom comes out onto the Invoker. The Invoker, though, not going to be able to throw anything out now as well. Can he get himself away? Traps being dropped. The toss comes up onto the Doom and MC with that Centaur Stomp. So it looks like this is going to be a good fight going the way of NGX. They didn't get Roshan out of this, but they're going to get everything else, it looks like, in Fishman. There's going to be the Tombstone as well.
The fifth hero.
Up, and Fishman's just going to go down once again. 4 or 5 heroes going down there, because Fishman went down twice, and Watson... Is it going to be like a full 7 kit here with it? No, he goes into the meld. Is there going to be any reveal? He just hides himself away. But a really nice fight coming through from NGX to capitalize on Watson not being involved in the team fight because he wanted to take down the Roche.
That's a big timing being taken away from Entity. They had no reason to fight that one. That is just a rookie mistake. Something that you do when you finish off the Roche, you run away because you know that the enemies are going to be set up for a fight. Even though they didn't walk in the pit, they're set up on their vision and they've already taken one of your heroes down. Plus, you're lacking some resources from going for the Roche. So Entity, with that lost fight now, they're giving a chance to Nigma Galaxy to completely come back into this game. This TA, her net worth is no longer overwhelming towards the net worth of the cores on the side of Nigma.
Yeah, no, that Doom just immediately rockets up the table now as well. Tornado, but the Pigpole comes out. The Dream is going to be able to get himself away there, and Doom just going straight towards that BKB now as well. And what's Toby? Toby wants that shot. So Amar, he's got his armlet. He's already going towards. It looks like another Heaven's Halberd. Yeah, he has the recipe in his backpack there as well. Not too far away from it, and the extra disarm that comes out from the inner fire as well. It's really going to be able to mess with what Watson can actually do in these fights.
Watson needs a BKB. That's the thing, man. That was such a great timing that Entity could have hit in this game. Have the Aegis have like 4 or 5k gold lead, but they decide to walk up the high ground. Now they've put themselves in a position where Nigma Galaxy can actually itemize for the later portions of the game, get those needed items, you know, halberds, extra armor, and win against the TA. This is something, a problem that I thought that Entity are not going to be having in this game, that their timing is going to be perfect, but not the case any longer. So Nigma, they're going to be somewhat happy with how things are now, considering how they started.
Yeah, and like you say there as well, they were, what was it, something like 8-1 or something like that on the scoreboard in terms of kills. So that fight, the fact that Entities with cores were so far ahead, you know, the amount of gold that they give up in those kills as well, like you say, it just propels NGX right back into this game. Because 5 minutes ago I was thinking, how the hell did they get themselves back into it? Well, that team fight is exactly how Entity overstepping the boundaries and just being picked off one by one while Watson was still farming it into the Roshan.
SL doesn't take away their Aegis timer, or does it?
He might do. There's going to be the toss back now as well. The stun, Watson, the EMP gets dropped as well. He is going to be disarmed. Can he get himself away from this one? The Aegis is going to be popped. What else can they get from this now as well, though? The Roar comes through onto the Doom. Did they have to take him down? The Mortimer
can't get away.
Drop the backlines coming out from GH. Yeah, he can't run away from that. He's just going to be taken down. They might even be able to take down Fishman as well. They get the kill onto the Sumail. He helps take down Fishman. Watson going down. And that's, I love the positioning coming through from the Snapfire. Just sitting away from the Rubik, sitting away in the trees. You can't see him. The vision isn't there. And he just throws out the Mortimer kisses. They have the lockdown onto Watson, and I think that's what the second and third just absolutely perfect Mortimer kisses I've seen coming out here from the side of NGX.
Yeah, every single time the Mortimer's kisses have been on point. They have good ways to lock people down, especially with the overgrowth there. But either way, you know, GH is always in a good position to get those out.
Yeah, oh, Mikey. Do you want to go into GH with the cold snap into the tornado coming through the fade bolt now as well? Even dropping the ice wall onto this. The telekinesis, the drag back, the stall and toss up into the air. So GH tries to turn around and get what he can out of that, but he's just going to be killed off, and Mikey does find the kill.
That took a long time for them to bring down the Snapfire. So Entity, we're seeing that their heroes, they definitely lack burst damage if Watson isn't there. Especially, you know, most of their heroes, if not counting out the TA, they do mostly magical damage. And you're playing against 5 strength heroes, and it is definitely becoming an issue here.
Yeah, and you can see it. I mean, again, Entity, they still have that map pressure that they can apply with the... Oh, they might be able to get something out of this now as well. The cold snap coming through onto Amar, and Mar's just going to dive onto one of the creeps. Try and get himself away now. But yeah, Toby, with the amount of pressure he puts out onto the map, with the Helm of the Overlord coming through with his balls as well, he's not super scared about going with the rest of his team to apply pressure. You know, back away if they need to. Mind Control going to be losing all of his mana. The cookie comes through again.
Yeah, one thing about the life break is that it does take away all of the it does dispel you, so that's why you just want to use it when the cold snap or the spirit vessel, or even both in that at that point we're on him. But just to remind our viewers, if you want to click on the banner below, you'll get free $15 for your for first bet. Amar farming under the Hawk, but no one can really punish him for it until you kind of get a very strong Sunstrike and he's super low. Then maybe, but he's not allowing that to happen. Even with this amount of HP, he's farming incredibly fast.
Yeah, and in the fights, he is going to have that BKB as well, so even more survivability to come out for the Huskar. And do you want... I mean, I've not seen the Doom's items for a minute, but is this going to be like that aura kind of Doom? You know, do you want to be offering the protection here to Amar? Do you want to be building it into like the Guardian's Griefs?
I don't think you get Guardian Greaves, but if there is a defensive item that you'll go for, is the Shiva.
Yeah. Oh, okay, they might be able to get the cold snap coming through onto the Doom now as well. The meatball's going to be dropped. Can he get himself away from this one? MC, Spirit Vessel taking him down as well, but it looks like he might just be able to shrug this one off, walk himself away. Watson and Fishman weren't close enough to capitalize on Mikey being able to get the jump there. And yeah, MC is going to be able to get himself out of danger.
Every single time Nigma Galaxy, they're getting their heroes out just in time before the Rubik can get the lift off. You get the lift off there, there's a good chance the Doom dies just from the magical damage and the potential Sunstrike. But again, he starts backing off just in time. Mikey has to go for it. He dodges the meatball, and he's gonna be quite fine. Entity right now, what is happening is that they're waiting for the second roach. They still have better map control. Both of their mid lane and the top lane tier 1s are alive. But Nigma Galaxy, they're getting the items necessary to put up a fight, even if it is on equal footing.
Yeah, and you see as well that Watson wants to go towards the blink into the Chrysalis. You know, what I assume it's just a Daedalus to come out next. Does he go for, you know, does he want to build it into the Hurricane, the Hurricane Pike? Yeah, what is it that Watson wants to be building into here on the Templar Assassin just to add to the control that Entity might have? Oh, did he have the catch out onto Sumail? Sumail actually might be caught out here. The roll comes through as well. The right click, still the avalanche. He keeps him alive for a little bit, but Watson will be able to secure that kill.
I think he'll get a Hurricane Pike at some point, but it's not a item you're looking towards right now. I think...
Yeah.
I don't even think you're gonna get a Daedalus. Silver Edge does make a little bit more sense here, considering that you're playing against the Huskar, so I'm expecting Watson to go for that one. Plus, positioning is very important in this game.
Okay, well, I mean, he is going to be going towards the blink first, and yeah, the Silver Edge would be a fairly nice pickup for him here as well, as he just moves himself in, and again, the Living Armor, trying to keep this tower alive for as long as possible, but it will eventually just be pressured down, and Toby will be able to secure that tower.
Even with the mistakes that Entity have made, they are still controlling the top part of the map. That is important for the next Roche. But this ward needs to get rewarded. If that ward remains right now, they're in the big jungle of Nigma Galaxy, Entity are gonna pay a big price for it, because they're gonna be seen once they enter the pit, and that's gonna allow Nigma Galaxy to choose their fight carefully. Yeah,
and again, just the amount of push that's coming out on the side of Entity. You look at that, the creep wave, you know, the meteors get dropped, immediately cleans up the creep wave, and there's no real answer to that, because, I mean, how do you fight a meteor?
Really? Is that really a question? You shoot it with a nuclear weapon. I mean, we have been doing that, you know. Anyways, there's gonna be a smoke into smoke action though here around the pit. Actually, Nigma Galaxy, when they saw that the Roche went down, they didn't want to go for it. Okay, they had the ward. Entity smoked out of the pit. Nigma Galaxy saw that no one was coming out of the pit, and they knew they had to get out.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Entity, they want to try and make something happen here with this Aegis time. You can see the D wards coming out as well. So they're dropping the traps. Watson, you know, and again, this is their time to get aggressive. Like you say, they've got this Aegis time in there as well. The glowy Thunder hides, that was really rad. But yeah, so Amar, how's he looking? He's got his BKB, the armlets up there is the Heaven's Harbor, and again, the Inner Fire as well. He's actually going to be going back for an AC, it looks like, before the Aghanim Scepter. He's found a decent amount of farm. He's still falling a little bit behind the TA, but how effective is he going to be in this fight? So, you know, NGX, do they want to be the ones looking for the jump now? I know the Aegis is up, so did they just wait out the Aegis time and then look to try and take a fight on their terms?
Nigma Galaxy, they want to fight around towers when they see Watson clearly. Not like this.
Oh, this could be able to get the roar out. No, Doom. Does he get himself? Sunstrike's going to be there now as well, but he does pop the BKB. Doesn't matter. Mikey, he's going to be able to do the damage, and the Overgrowth still to come through. Are they going to try and turn this one around? There's going to be 4 heroes stacking up on this.
They're in trouble.
Toby, but the Deafening Blast comes through. They're going to be able to clean up onto the tree. Can they go even further onto this now as well? Fishman, the BKB's up from Amar, but it's going to be the mechanism coming through from Fishman, and he might just carry on going here as well. And Amar just has to dive himself away the pig pole, and he's trying to get himself out of danger. Watson with the blink in this time, GH in the trees. The Mortimer cases are they going to be stolen? They are going to be turned around, and Rubik might be able to put them out, but he gets killed off some mail with the tree volley. He takes the Rubik down before he can even use those Morty kisses, and MC just says, thank you, Samael. That would have been a massive pain to try and deal with.
And that was actually a pretty good fight for Nigma Galaxy regarding how it started. It does come out from Samael grabbing his Aghanim Scepter and bringing down the supports. Otherwise, this fight is a disaster. Everything, you know, starts with mind control, showing himself immediately roared, then brought down. And then just a beautiful tornado from Mikey. He was the one that set him up for success. Beautiful tornado, beautiful ice wall, then the deafening blast. He keeps them in place long enough for Watson, who was disarmed for like 10 seconds, to dish out the damage and get some heroes down.
Yeah, is there any way that Watson, you know, can deal with the disarms coming through? Is he just going to be cursed to sit out the first like 10 seconds of every fight?
I mean, you have a BKB, but you kind of don't want to use it just to start committing onto heroes. But maybe he should, you know. Yeah. Maybe that's going to be the case. He just sees when they get a good jump like that, when they get a good tornado, he pops the BKB and jumps in.
Well, Shamel, speaking about jump, Fishman though, he's going to be able to get the mechanism off once again to heal himself back up. The Cliff Teasy comes out onto Shamel now as well. Maybe taken after an old teammate there. Is the EMP going to be dropped as well? Amar pops the BKB. The disarm comes out once again onto the TA. It looks like Samael is going to be able to get himself away from this damage. Oh, MC. Can he get himself out? The damage just from the right click.
Not again.
Through. It looks like MC. Mikey. Pinpoint perfect on the Sunstrikes.
Mind control 2 times in a row. He dies the same way. Roared. He takes like half of his HP and damage, and then he pops the BKB like, I am out. And nope, you're running into a Sunstrike. Like 2 fights in a row, and he's just not getting his doom off at all. So Entity, with this Aegis now, they can poke a little bit on the high ground. Ideally, they would like the glyph to be used, so that when they win the next fight, they can take a tier 2 and maybe even a tier 3 after it.
Yeah, and you can see here that Amar, he's trying to do his best to push back the Golem. Golem, get ye gone here. The disarm coming out again onto Watson, and Watson is just going to have to walk himself back, but still has that Aegis for another minute, so might not be too scared about committing onto it. And what can you actually do here? I mean, you've got to defend the base, right? You've got to defend the high ground, but do you need all 5 heroes to do that, or can you like sneak out Amar or, you know, Samael to try and get a little bit of farm while this base defense is going on?
You need to do it. You need to do it right now. Ideally, you would want to fight around your towers. Not going to be happening. I didn't like that Entity went for that one. Again, a risky play. You're up against the Tiny in the mid lane push, so easily Watson could have gotten tossed back, and then that's a bad way for the fight to start.
Yeah, the roll's going to be coming out now as well. That's going to be a really nice overwhelming Sunstrike coming through. The Meteors get dropped across 3 heroes. And is there going to be enough damage to take down? They get the kill onto Toby, though. Can they go even further onto this? Amar's getting low. The right click's coming through. And Watson, one more right click. No, it's not going to be enough. He's going to be able to get himself away. Does he get the toggle off in time? Amar, one more right click, though. Katawomi does eventually get the kill.
The only reason that the Huskar didn't die immediately is because Samael is a freaking god. He tosses him away when he got roared. Otherwise, it would have been the Cataclysm that would have claimed his life immediately. In the end, it does allow them to get the extra 2 kills. So Samael, he has been doing the heavy lifting in this game. He has taken all of the hate, like, oh, you guys lost your lanes, I'm gonna go there and just get smacked in your stead. And now, with the lowest net worth out of all the cores of Nigma, he's still making plays happen. So this guy's still an amazing player. Nigma Galaxy, though, on the other hand, not looking like a great team.
Yeah, and the Cataclysm coming out from Mikey there just to set because of how NGX were grouped up. Real nice. They've got the drawback again. The Meteors come out. Is that going to be another kill onto the Snapfire? Snapfire, he turns right. He's going to go down. Doom onto Mikey, though, and Mikey might pay with his life. But again, it just sets up the Doom's out of position, and Watson looking for the right clicks. Do they want to try and chase onto this, though? Because they've got to be careful. Katawomi is backing him up, and Watson, he doesn't have that Aegis anymore. It is actually going to be the... No, he had the Demon's Edge queued up in his inventory, though, Watson. So maybe it is going to be the Daedalus that comes up for him.
He's bringing it out. I'm okay with it. I would have preferred the Silver Edge, but the Daedalus is the thing that allows you to burst people down faster.
Oh, Fishman couldn't get the mechanisms off that time. He just gets absolutely popped by the combination there of Samael as well as Amar, being able to do so much damage that, yeah, there was no way out. He was dead before he even hit the ground.
He does have the meld dispels right now, so that's a big timing for the TA. The next big timing is going to be the level 25 with the refraction charges and the ability to do so much damage. Overall, the charges aren't going to be mattering all that much defensively, because you're up against the Avalanche, you're up against the Mortimer's Kisses, the Huskar, even the Scorched Earth. But overall, in terms of the offensive capabilities of the TA, that's going to be something that you're gunning for. And, you know, Watson, when you look at his net worth, if you're Nigma Galaxy, you know that he's pretty much up there. You're very scared because this hero is nothing to laugh at.
Yeah, and now the Shivas does come up for the Doom, so he is going to be able to secure that. Samael, well, Samael was trying to farm that camp as Amar just jumps in and says, no, mine. But yeah, the Snapfire as well with the Grief, so that's going to offer a lot more survivability in these fights, just amongst the team. And how's Watson? Yeah, it is going to be back for the Hurricane Pike, which I suppose if he does get dove on by the Huskar, which, you know, 4 other targets to pick from, but if it is Watson, just being able to pop that Hurricane Pike straight here. Oh, GH, there's going to be the Fletch Golem coming out now as well. Tree Volley Fishman, though, he's a big tanky boy. Do they have enough to take him down? The right click, does it disconnect? GH, he's still going to be able to survive through this, and now the Roar comes through. Amari's going to be in trouble. He's going to be Cataclysm to death, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the Cold Snap into MC as well. MC can run himself away from this one. Tornado, it's going to connect. There's going to be the EMP now as well. Fishman trying to get on top of him, but he does pop that BKB. GH, one more right click, and it's going to be enough, and Fishman picks up the kill. Doom at least gets the TP away.
The thing about a Hurricane Pike, you talked about it, it's big because Watson can blink in, Hurricane Pike someone and just fight them without popping the BKB, and that is big. When your BKB gets to 6 seconds, especially against so much disarm, you need to find ways to fight without using the BKB, and this is actually a very nice way to do it. Of course, it's going to help you in defensive matters as well, but in terms of offensive possibilities, it is great, especially because you have a Tombstone and you have a Beastmaster on your side, so you're almost always going to have the vision to get the hits in.
Yeah, look at this as well. He's trying to get himself away from this now. MC, Trevolt, we're doing a lot of damage to Fishman as he be able to survive through this. It looks like they are going to be able to turn it around, though. They get the kill. Watson's just going to be running riot through the entire team. And this actually might look like a lane of racks. And if you're Entity, do you just try and maybe push, get cheeky, go for the tier 4s?
I think you go for the safe route. You don't have the reason to do so. You can get one more lane, go for the Roche, and you can't lose the game if you go by that route. You can even right now go for the Roche, and there is a nice DD waiting for you there, which you might just scout. So I would go for the safe route every single time in this game, though they didn't do so. So yeah, why do it now?
Yeah, fair enough. Amar, the telekinesis does come through. He's going to be disarmed by his own spell as the disarm comes through onto Watson, but the BKB is going to be popped. The Roar comes through right through the BKB. The Cookie trying to keep him alive, but the Cataclysm going to be dropped on Amar once again. You can see even the Thunderhide wants to get into this, and Amar is just going to be taken down. The mega kill streak going the way of Watson with the double kill. And again, I think this is going to be Bon Voyage coming through for NGX. They've just, yeah, the GG is going to be called, and unfortunately, it just was not the day. They're going to be taken out. Entity move on to play against Virtus Pro in the next round of games.
It just wasn't Nigma Galaxy's day. They only had one game where they played, but they stomped their enemies there, so it's